Former nurse who admitted to causing the death of her patient is learning today just how long she'll spend behind bars.
Yvette Hunter originally faced a murder charge. She instead pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter.
The victim's daughter and granddaughter talked about the loss of their loved one today. WKYT's Jeremy Toms was there, and he has our top story at noon.
Mediation between the Commonwealth and Yvette Hunter's defense led to a plea deal in this case. It also set the stage for this morning's sentencing, with Judge Thomas Travis presiding over an emotionally charged courtroom.
I pray that as we all go on with our lives, that you guys can forgive me for acting out of my scope of practice and causing harm.
Hunter pleaded her case to the court, saying she acted immediately when she found Mr. Morris in distress. But Morris's family then took the stand to paint a much different picture.
Everyone, including his doctors, would say he was independent, sharp, active, and physically impressive for being 3 years shy of 100 years old.
His daughter and granddaughter both spoke, saying he was admitted to Baptist Health for a fall out of an abundance of caution. They say his condition only turned when Hunter took deliberate, callous actions, illegally injecting him with a drug he wasn't prescribed, then force-feeding him while he was sedated, all leading to his eventual death.
I can't think of any reason why Miss Hunter would walk into my grandfather's room, having never met him, and treat him the way that she did.
Ultimately, the court accepted the Commonwealth's recommendations, sentencing Hunter to 5 years in prison, giving her credit for time served. After the verdict, Kinnear said she couldn't see it going any other way, but adds that it at least brings some form of relief and justice to this family. In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
And after sentencing outside the courtroom, Morris's daughter said she's glad the devastating ordeal is over. Hunter's defense attorney declined to comment.